A very good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another week with KSI Morning Brief. To begin with, global markets. Faced with the prospect of restricted access to US dollars, China's answer is to get more people to use its own currency instead. With almost $1 trillion in offshore bonds and loans and 1.1 trillion US dollars in state-owned bank liabilities, access to the greenback is vital for Chinese companies and lenders. Similar calls for moving away from the dollar followed the 2007 to 9 financial crisis, while China over the years made some progress, promoting offshore yuan trading, winning official reserve currency status from the International Monetary Fund, and launching commodity contracts priced in yuan. Hong Kong, which supplies around half of the world's offshore yuan liquidity, is also aiming to become a more prominent yuan trading center, according to Bloomberg. Investors are snapping up Italy's government debt with as much appetite as during previous European summers, when the high yields proved the perfect place to pick up a steady return while volatility is low. Italy's offer the biggest yield in the region, with its 10-year bonds at around 1.2% higher even than Greek notes, which have long been the pariah in the region. For that, investors still get an investment grade asset as well as the safety of a liquid market. Warren Buffett once said that diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing. The takeaway: load up on what you know. Berkshire now owns more than 91 billion US dollars in Apple shares, representing 43% of the conglomerate's entire portfolio. As the report points out, there are 46 securities in the portfolio, and if you add them all together, not including the number two holding of Bank of America, they still don't equal the Apple stake, which proves just how much big tech names have paced the stock market of late. Results from major financial institutions which dominate the week in earnings, with banks including JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, and Goldman Sachs, are set to report results this week. Looking at some updates from global news now, thousands of Hong Kong citizens have queued to cast ballots over the weekend. The unofficial poll will decide the strongest pro democracy candidates to contest legislative council elections in September, when they aim to ride a wave of anti China sentiment stirred by the law to seize control for the first time from pro Beijing rivals. Primark said it will not take advantage of a 30 million bonus from the government, potentially putting pressure on other major firms not to take taxpayer money. Chancellor Rishi Sunak announced last week that all businesses will be paid 1,000 for each employee they bring back from furlough. Primark around placed around 30,000 workers on the government's coronavirus job retention scheme, but it said it has now brought them all back and would not ask for the bonus. Look at some updates from COVID-19 around the world. US state of Florida breaks another coronavirus record, reporting 15,300 new cases in the past day, the daily increase in its largest since 4th July, and comes a day after Walt Disney World reopened there. India has seen another surge in infections, rising to over 820,000, while Sri Lanka shut schools again from July 13th to 17th after a spike in COVID-19 cases. The decision to shut schools was taken after nearly 400 patients were detected with the COVID-19 virus from a rehabilitation center within the past 3 days. Sri Lanka's COVID-19 cases jumped to 2,605 as on Sunday after 94 more persons tested positive for the coronavirus. Russia's Sechenov University has completed the clinical trials of the world's first coronavirus vaccine on their volunteers. The first batch of volunteers will be discharged on Wednesday, whereas the second will be discharged on July 20th. The university began the trials on June 18th, and the vaccines were produced by Russia's Gamaleya Institute of Epidemiology and Microbiology. That's it we have for you on KSI Morning Brief today. Meet you tomorrow with more updates at 8:30 a.m. Thank you. Goodbye.